we'll explore two historical cases that raised questions about government oversight and Department of Justice investigations: the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963 and the death of Jeffrey Epstein in 2019. We'll examine the timelines, key players, and patterns across these events. These two cases, separated by over 5 decades, share interesting parallels in how presidential authority, Department of Justice oversight, and public trust intersect during high-profile investigations. Let's start with a timeline of the JFK assassination and its aftermath. The JFK assassination occurred on November 22, 1963, when President John F. Kennedy was shot while riding in a motorcade in Dallas, Texas. Following the assassination, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was quickly sworn in as president aboard Air Force One, marking an immediate transfer of executive authority, including control over the Department of Justice. Just 1 week later, on November 29, 1963, President Johnson established the Warren Commission, chaired by Chief Justice Earl Warren, to investigate the assassination. This commission operated under Department of Justice and FBI oversight. In early 1964, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, JFK's brother, resigned from his position. President Johnson then appointed Nicholas Katzenbach as acting Attorney General, effectively aligning the Department of Justice leadership with Johnson's priorities. In September 1964, the Warren Commission released its report, concluding that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in assassinating President Kennedy. This report established the official Department of Justice and FBI narrative and reduced calls for deeper congressional investigations. Years later, between 1976 and 1979, the House Select Committee on Assassinations reopened the case and found a probable conspiracy in JFK's death, though they found no evidence directly implicating President Johnson or Department of Justice leadership. Even today, between 2023 and 2025, there are still periodic releases of JFK assassination files under successive presidential administrations. The remaining redactions in these documents continue to fuel public distrust in the completeness of the Department of Justice's account of the events. Now, let's shift our focus to the Jeffrey Epstein case, which began to unfold in 2019, more than 5 decades after the JFK assassination. On July 23, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein, who was facing federal sex trafficking charges, was found injured in his prison cell. This incident triggered a suicide watch protocol. In response, the Department of Justice, under Attorney General William Barr, reinforced Bureau of Prisons monitoring policies. Less than 3 weeks later, on August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his cell. The New York City medical examiner ruled his death a suicide. The Bureau of Prisons, which operates under the Department of Justice, reported failures in guard rotation and missing camera footage from outside Epstein's cell. In September 2019, Attorney General William Barr vowed a full and complete investigation into Epstein's death. He publicly dismissed murder theories and reaffirmed the medical examiner's finding of suicide. Later, in June 2023, the Department of Justice Inspector General released a report that documented lapses by the Bureau of Prisons but found no evidence of homicide or Department of Justice interference in the case. In July 2025, the Department of Justice issued a final memo stating it found no client list or blackmail evidence related to Epstein's case. The department declined further document releases despite legal pressure. To this day, missing video footage, withheld internal memos, and Attorney General Barr's rapid return to private practice have kept conspiracy theories alive and reinforced doubts about Department of Justice transparency.